Before we get going with the poetry and music tonight, I would like to ask Mrs. Cadence Trites, our principal, to come up and say a few words.
Hi, parents. Just wanted to, parents and friends and everybody else is here, just wanted to say a big thank you to you for coming tonight. So round of applause for everybody who supported these kids. Ms. Crown talked a little bit about SOCAN and Art Starts. Just to give you a little more information, SOCAN supports original music, writing of original music, and they've donated $500 to make this event possible, as well as all the other things that go with it. Art Starts, too. Art Starts, we wrote a grant a long time ago when Heather came up with this idea, and Brian, and we've received $3,500 to have people in the classroom, such as the gentleman that Ms. Crown had talked about. So that, plus all the other things that go along to making this night successful. Yeah. And the main reason I am up here is I want to thank our wonderful music teacher and our wonderful English teacher with just a little gesture. They are the reason why your kids are so fabulous tonight. So make sure you tell them how wonderful they are, because they really deserve it. So if you could come, oh, actually, I'll come on up. Some roses for you. And I know we don't want flowers, so this is a mango. Anyways, enjoy and have a great time tonight. Good luck, kids.
One last quick announcement. If you are technology savvy, which I know a lot of you are, this event is being streamed live through the Streaming Live Cafe. It is also archived on their site, so if you ever need to go back or want to reference, or you have a big audition coming up and you want to pull up the song, you are more than welcome to. I'm going to start the evening with a poem. I call the poem View from a Window. And if you were at the art auction last week, you will know that I actually wrote this poem for the grade 2 and 3 art class. Our art teacher, Leanne Clark, challenged the grade 2s and 3s to imagine what they would see if they were looking out their window. And they turned in some fabulous collaborative projects for the art auction. Now, these pieces sold anywhere from $50 to $150, I believe. And I watched as these grade 2s and 3s were scurrying and scribbling and drawing, and I sat down. And I went, oh. And I said, here you go, here's the poem. What? I said, yeah, here it is. Oh, she said, oh, well, let's put it in the artwork. But it goes like this: View from a window. Sitting at my window, I take a look and see a world moving quickly, way too quick for me. I see concrete paths and asphalt trails leading us away from the things we used to like, do, and what we say. I see people walking lonely, all alone as one, plugged into something different, a gross reality. I long for a world slower, warmer, caring, fun. A helping hand, a wave to say hello. Sitting at my window, I take a look and see a world moving quickly, way too quick for me. The first artist I'm going to call up, I actually got to witness her aha moment. And that's one thing as a teacher, you strive to see in every student. And she was in the band room, and she was sitting in the locker room playing all by herself. And just all of a sudden I heard from behind me, Miss Crown, I did it! I played the whole thing by myself. And it was that moment you're like, yes, this is what we are looking for. So her name is Zoe Welch. Her song is entitled My Turn. And Zoe said the hardest part about writing a song was finding something to write about. There are so many love songs, sad songs, and pop songs. She didn't want to be repeating anything. So she decided instead to find something to be inspired by. So she wrote a song about inspiration. This song is about finding yourself. Zoe.
Okay. So the end of my fairy tale was to see things out of reach. Worlds that wind on forever, looking to where they must lead. And I know what I seek must be waiting for me. While the skyline was whistling, moving on forward. Ocean blue of wonder, watching waves that might turn. I will let you peer inside my mind. I have no fear of my thoughts, of the crown that I will wear, brought to me by the one who told me I could not. While the skyline was whistling, moving on forward. Ocean blue of wonder, watching waves that might turn. I took it in my hands. Wicked was all I had. I took it in my hands, and I'm keeping it all now. While the skyline was whistling, moving on forward. Ocean blue of wonder, watching waves that might turn. Thank you.
Thank you, Zoe, for getting us started off with such a beautiful song. The next group I'd like to call up is the group of Ava, Tamika, Piper, and Ona. They have called themselves the Golden Crowns. They have titled their song The Food Song, and it came about because they were talking about their favorite things. Then they decided to focus on food because Piper came up with the line, bread and butter with some jam. And it has evolved into what you hear, and if I recall, with the help of Sammy a little bit that day.
Hello. The falls. Look at the falls. Does it have sound, Brian? No sound.
Yeah, well, it should be hooked up. Just keep
Not doing anything.
No, but I can't control that.
Isn't this such a great song?
that's all I want. Living a song, living a song, living a song, and it's not too long.
What should I get?
Should I get the French fries or foul? What should I get, Paul? You should get the cherry pie. Pie. Now our favorite meal of all has us jumping off the wall. Icing, sugar, sweets we made. Now we have some creme brulee.
I want food, that's all I want.
Just get me food, that's all I want. Living song, living song, living song, and it's not too long.
Up next, we have a student by the name of Shayna who just 2 weeks ago actually went through jaw surgery, but she decided she was going to be here tonight. She will be reciting a poem, and I think it's pretty self-explanatory because the title is, I wrote my doctor a poem so she would stop asking how I'm feeling. I'm getting conflicting stories. She says, yeah, I do have music. Can you set it up through her iPhone? Do you have the jack? Yeah. Okay. So actually what I'm really going to do is call up Shannon Lindquist. She likes to call herself Sparkles. Shannon is in our afternoon program, so she takes in all of the arts. And today she's doing a cover to the song Taylor Swift's Trouble. Thank you, Shannon. And now I'll bring Shayna back up.
Thank you. Hello. Okay. Need music. Thank you. I don't know who that was. Okay. What's up? Oh, for sure. That was my goal. beads into bookmarks and tuck them into my ribs, but I still keep losing my place between visits. When you've asked why I stopped taking my pills, I told you that it's because if anyone got close enough to kiss me, they'd taste only the residue against my teeth and stick around out of fear I'd take 8 more once they left. I left my diagnosis on the table at home today when I went out because I'd been doing better, Doc. I'd been feeling better. But I want the next hurricane to be named after hope because it can ruin all I've come to terms with over years in a matter of minutes. It's a false sense of peace before the next wave. So, do you think we could do that? Do you? If so, then I'd like to ask for a scale to measure my tremors too. If so, I'd like to know when to tell the ones I love to take cover and find shelter, because all they've ever known of home in me will soon turn to darkness and empty land. Can you label me a storm warning, Doc? Please, can you? You need to understand that I am rain and a broken compass, pain. Dressed up with a heavy smile and aching muscles from standing back up so many times. I have reminders of this fight tattooed on my body, and even still, I keep slipping on things that overwhelm me. Until I stand again, and even still, I'm unsteady. I think I just need better traction, but I don't really know. Doc, I don't really know if I'm ready. I really don't know if I'm ready. I don't know where to go. I do know that this makes me hard to be with. I do know that this turns my name into a biohazard for upbeat environments. So yesterday, I tried solving your evaluation of me, so it would stop coming up in conversations as an excuse. But the ink stained your sentences onto my tongue, and now every time I speak, it shows through. I just desperately want all of this to stop showing through.
Wow. There are days that I dream of being able to write like that, Shayna. That's unbelievable. The next poet I'm going to call up is new to the school. She's grade 10. This is Sonny Salman. Her poem is untitled as of right now, but it is inspired by love and life.
Such a significant emotion, so passionate though beyond any words that I could possibly comprehend. Is it the sentiment of devotion staring back at me? I'm free from doubt, confident that it is not lust, but love that has bound me to you. What we possess is wicked, in the palms of our hands. So wrong, yet so right, with the warrant to change, but it never crosses the infatuated mind. Studying the ice blue irises, filled with desire, I crave your touch and your voice, coveting the impact of mind-numbing kisses that send an electric shock throughout my vacant, deadening body. In that instant, I'm alive, and I feel ignited as well as complete, as if I were a candle, with a flame that has been sparked by my utter devotion and fiery heart. Contemplating the facts of you and I, the confidence is present, and I'm sure love is what bound us to the other in a timeless, entangled bond.
Spectacular, ladies and gentlemen. We truly do have some gifted students here. The next poet I'm going to call up came to us shortly after Christmas, so he really didn't have time to join a music group, but he jumped right in anyways. His name is Keegan Towns. His poem is called Wakeboarding, and it was inspired by his love of wakeboarding.
Gonna adjust this for 3 feet 11. Okay. Here we are. So, my poem's about wakeboarding. Here it goes. Wake up, sun glimmering through the window like pixie dust on a windy day. I get dressed, make burnt pancakes, and out the door. I arrive at the wake park. I get suited up in my wakeboard gear and then strap into my wakeboard. I jump into the lake, cold water hugging me like a mother hugging her newborn. I swim to the handle and wait. Suddenly, I feel the slight tug on the handle as if it was being shocked to life. I start to stand up, waves forming like speed bumps, and I'm the race car speeding over them. The air becoming colder than the water, thoughts rushing through my mind. What trick next? Will I land it? How much will it hurt if I fall? As I'm riding, I think about it. What trick next? Surface 360? No. Grab off the kicker? No. 360 off the kicker? Yes. I align myself up with the jump and focus on the trick. I pull the handle behind my back halfway up the kicker, and I get air. I rotate, looking as I spin in the air. Seeing the cable, trees, Kelowna, then the water. I brace my landing, absorbing most of the shock with my knees. I ride off as if nothing happened, though smile telling everyone something just did.
Thank you, Keegan. I love how our students have so many passions, and then they can take them and turn them into a poem or a song. To see that evolution and that work is really fantastic. The next poet I'm going to call up is her first time to the Streaming Cafe stage. She's in grade 6. Her name is Kendra Collado. Her poem is called Day One, and it was inspired by her love of video games.
Hello. I was sitting in my box beside my friend the white fox, and my friend Toy Chica was eating her pizza. Then halfway there, hearing a voice of a toy bear and a red guitar playing while the truck was swaying. When the truck was unloading us inside, we couldn't believe our eyes. We were placed in the certain spots. When he left, we looked around lots. It was grand reopening day. There's something weird about the way. Another truck came by, but no one knew why. There was a fox, a purple bunny, a chicken, and a bear, but no one knew why they were there. But on a birthday party day, 4 children went away.
All right. I am going to keep us running quite on time. So I'm going to get started with the second half, if people can take a seat. Can you? If you were at the spoken word poetry night last year, you will have heard this song in a little bit of a different context. Sorry, this poem. I wrote this poem a few years ago when my uncle got sick and passed away with cancer. And last year I had the privilege of working with a student who took this song and turned it into a piece of original artwork, which we sold last year at the art auction. This year, I thought it would be really cool to try something different. So I've taken this poem, it's a found poem, from 2 country songs, Tim McGraw's Live Like You Were Dying and Leanne Womack's I Hope You Dance. And this year I've had our student Taryn in grade 10 write music to go with it. So I have titled this And a Found Poem. time is a wheel in constant motion, always rolling us along. Tell me, who wants to look back on all their years and wonder where those years have gone? He said, I was in my early 40s with a lot of life before me, and a moment came that stopped me on a dime. I spent most of the next days looking at the x-rays, talking about the options, and talking about sweet time. And I asked him when it sank in that this might really be the real end. How's it hit ya when you get that kind of news? Man, what'd you do? And he said, I went skydiving. I went Rocky Mountain climbing. I went 2.7 seconds on a bull named Fu Manchu. And I warned him, I hope you dance. And he said, all of a sudden, going fishing wasn't such an imposition. And I went 3 times that year I lost my dad. I sighed, I hope you dance. And he said, I was finally the husband that most of the time I wasn't. And I became a friend would like to have. I smiled, I hope you dance. And he said, I took a good, long, hard look at what I'd do if I could do it all again. And I loved deeper, and I spoke sweeter, and I gave forgiveness I'd been denying. And he said, someday I hope you get the chance to live like you were dying. I understood. I hope you dance. Oops. Friends, I hope you dance. I hope you still feel small when you stand beside the ocean. Whenever one door closes, I hope one more opens. I hope you never fear those mountains in the distance. Never settle for the path of least resistance. I hope you never lose your sense of wonder. You get to fill the eat, but always keep that hunger. May you never take one single breath for granted. And when you get the choice to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance. The next group I'm going to call up is the duo of Alex and Leah. They call themselves the Elements. Their song is titled Fire in My Eyes, and it is inspired by life, feelings, and family.
Good.
Hey Dad, I'm writing to you just to ask you how you've been and how we fell apart and how this isn't coming through. So I'm asking you, why is my life so difficult? Why aren't you here? Why is it that when I do call, you're never there? No happy birthday, no Merry Christmas, no happy Thanksgiving, cause all you're giving is pain. You're supposed to be there when I fall, while I'm just starting to crawl. When I'm scared, you ain't there, don't worry baby, daddy's here. What about when I'm older, when I hold my breath blue? When you see the fire in my eyes, I cry. I lose my mind. You're just watching me die. You just lied, Dad. Why did you have to fall for another woman? Why can't you be the one that tries to make it work for me and for her? Why can't you for me and for her? Lies, you lie. Stop lying, Daddy. You're never here. Stop saying that everything's perfectly fine. 'Cause I'm scared and I want you here. What about when I'm older? When I hold my brother blue? What up, Dad? Do you remember the birthday soon it's out or let it be told? Sorry when you left us to be alone. Don't go saying you're something my stepdad will never be. Who's there for me? 6 or 8? Was I 6 or 8 without a clue? Yeah, 13 years later and still can't figure it out.
Aaliyah is one of our students who writes with so much emotion, and she writes from her heart. One more time for Aaliyah and Alex. I'm going to bring up another student who is new to the Studio9 and Streaming Cafe stage. Her name is Amanda. We call her Amanda K. She likes to go by the nickname Fawn. And I might be bringing up somebody else. She wants to, but she doesn't. Okay. While we see if we can get her off stage, we are going to ask that Kendra and Delana come up. They like to call themselves Coconut Cream. Their song is titled That Was My Life. It is inspired by the Kenny Chesney song There Goes My Life, and it is about someone growing up and overcoming a disability. I do want to say that as we were going through this process, so many students came up to me and said, I can't do this. I have to get on stage. And I went, we're Studio9, you're always on stage. We're like, but that's like as a character. I kind of like have to be me. And I went, make a character. So actually for the very first time, you're seeing a lot of these students on stage as themselves. So I do really think that they're all doing a fabulous job. Our next group is Cheyenne, Chloe, Zanea, Harmony. They call themselves Ruby Red. Their song is entitled Little Red, and it was inspired by the children's book Little Red Riding Hood, Harmony's Halloween costume, and Cheyenne's love of wolves.
I don't know how to turn these.
Too short. Okay, we won't start yet. Red Hood's on.
Off to Granny's we go.
Don't talk to strangers. Out in the woods in my bright red cape, picking flowers along the way. There's a shadow behind me. I don't know what to do. Do 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 do. If you don't want to be eaten by a wolf, don't talk to strangers. Walking on the path, I hear chomping teeth, I see glowing eyes. Out from the shadows comes the wolf to say hi, 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 hi. Eaten by a wolf, don't talk to strangers. I see your granny's little house, I run inside and to my surprise, it's not Granny, it's the wolf. If you don't want to be eaten by a wolf, don't talk to strangers.
We're going to change the style up a bit right now. This next group fought, and they fought, and they fought with lyrics, and they would stand up at my whiteboard for an hour at a time, and they would write words down, and they would cross them off, and then they'd write them back up there again. And in the end, they came up with a song. This is the Sock Monkeys, ladies and gentlemen. Their song is titled Alice. It is inspired by the movie, book, and play called Alice in Wonderland. It is Jake, Isaiah, Colby, and Jeremy.
Nope, I did not hear anything. Okay,
it's alright. Tell me what you found today. Oh, it's fair to say that when you fall asleep that you're falling down the rabbit hole. You need to wake up now. The stream that is not tears, lost and wandering here. You need to see the light. Walking and confused, stay to be amused. This party is insane. It's fair to say that when you fall asleep, you're falling down the rabbit hole. You need to wake up now. Oh, it's fair to say that when you fall asleep, you're falling down the rabbit hole. You need to wake up now. Painting her roses red, she will take a head. Beware, beware the queen.
I'm going to call up now. Okay, there's 2 more groups to go, so let's keep it all together. The next group is the Four Musketeers. Their song is titled Don't Let Me Fall. It's inspired by all the love songs on the radio. It's Sonny, Amanda, T, Mitch, and Dalton.
I need. Ooh, me. Ooh, I love you more and more. Ooh, don't let me hit the floor. Don't let me hit the floor.
Our final group for the evening was actually the first ones you heard in sound check, and they were actually the first ones to be written their song, first one to have written their music. So they've been practicing and practicing, and I actually find myself walking down the hall singing their lyrics, which is really, really cool. So this is Alexa, Brooklyn, Abby. They call themselves RBK. The song is titled Love High, and it's inspired by indie music, pop music, and all the love songs you hear on the radio.
Paint the stars in your way any day, colorful and bright, and you'll see why. And I love you, and I need you, and I see you in my dreams. You bring me higher and higher till I can't breathe. Dreams every night, shining bright, and you'll see why. And I love you, and I need you, and I see you in my dreams. You bring me higher and higher till I can't breathe. You bring me higher and higher till I can't breathe.
I hope by hearing all of your children and friends and whatnot perform tonight, you truly understand why I am very, very lucky to be working at Studio9, and I love my job. I'd like to thank, just as we go to an end, SoCan, Art Start, the Inspired Word Cafe, Streaming Cafe, and Scott, who is working wonderfully with all the levels. And very much I'd like to thank all of you parents for supporting and continuing to support the arts at Studio9. Thank you all so very much, and have a wonderful evening.